Hey YouTube, Slingblade98 here. In this video I'll take a look at the art of the return and of the debut. I'll use Chris Jericho's return from November as a comparison, and really I think one of the reasons Y2J's return in November was so great was it had that sense of ambiguity and anticipation that he'd just been gone so long that you weren't sure if it was him, and you were so anxious to see him come back and to see if it was actually him making his return. I think that return would have been actually even better if it wasn't for all the, well, the spoilers and preview things we saw on YouTube about was it actually Chris Jericho or not. Anyways, that was obviously one of the greatest returns in WWE history. Top 5 returns probably in wrestling history, I don't know. But anyways, that's my control, and I think there's quite a bit of debuts and possible returns in WWE that could be happening soon. Jeff Hardy comes back on May 10th, and I believe it's the 14th right now, so that day is coming ever closer. It's going to be interesting to see what card picture they put him back into when he makes his return, because due to Triple H's backstage politics and his imminent desire to remove everybody he can from the main event, so it just ends up as him, Randy Orton, and John Cena. Really, he removed Chris Jericho from the main event picture, but anyways, I hope that they aren't going to just stick him back into the mid-card and make him feud over the Intercontinental title. Although it would be interesting to see a Chris Jericho versus Jeff Hardy title feud. I think they have fought before, not in a while though. Even if they have fought, though, it'd still be a very entertaining aspect. But still, I would rather see him go back to where he was towards the beginning of the year, but his push kind of got crushed at No Way Out. Triple H pedigreed him and his push on that chair pretty much. So anyways, there's also some guys to make their debuts in WWE, and it's going to be interesting to see in what kind of way and persona they debut in. Of course, I'm talking about former TNA wrestlers Chris Harris and Ron Killings. Really, one of the things I'm worried about for a guy like Chris Harris is that they might just stick him into the lower middle card on Raw, like they kind of did to D.H. Smith, which was actually really sad because D.H. Smith is a pretty good wrestler. Anyways, so hopefully Chris Harris won't just end up on Heat, because I'd rather just see him back in TNA if that's going to be what they do with him. Then again, I'm not quite sure when he'll debut, and hopefully he will get to the main roster and they won't just kick him out of the developmental territory if he is there. I believe he is there. Yeah, and as far as Ron Killings goes, I already have a sense of curiosity about his debut. Sadly, he's already injured. He was fighting Carlito at a house show last Raw before this one, I think. And he injured his shoulder, so injured already. Yeah, so anyways, as far as the sense of curiosity goes, I'm interested to see what persona they're going to have Ron Killings wrestle under, because unlike Chris Harris, he actually has wrestled with WWE, formerly WWF, before. I'm curious as to if they're going to have him debut a new persona, if they're going to continue on the Ron Killings thing with just kind of a different ring name, or if they're just going to revert him to his KK Quick gimmick, which he originally had around, I think, 2001. So anyways, yeah, I know it's a long shot, but I would love to see Rob Van Dam come back. I mean, he's kind of in the same position now as Chris Jericho was when he was gone. Not retired, but kind of on an indefinite sabbatical, and one of the most kind of I don't know about underused, but kind of underpushed some of the time and most talented wrestlers they had. Anyways, I know it's a long shot, and I don't think he'll return for a while. But it would be interesting. It would be great to see Rob Van Dam make a grand entrance back. Possibly maybe attack Randy Orton for the title if he returns while Randy Orton is still champion. Then again, I don't know how long that's going to be. They could just have him job to Triple H or Cena in that fatal 4-way at Backlash. But it would be kind of cool to see Rob Van Dam return in a feud with Randy Orton. That would be awesome. It's getting close to a year since we've even seen RVD in a normal scheduled WWE atmosphere. He was at the Raw 15th anniversary, but that was just about a 1 minute long match with Santino Marella. Just kicked him in the face and did the frog splash. Still nice to see him. Nice to know that he's not gone for good, and that there's always that kind of dormant possibility of his return. So, as I said before, way earlier, it's kind of the thing about ambiguity that you can't really tell if they're going to return or not. So it gives it kind of a sense of mystery, and it makes it so exciting if they actually do. None of us were 100% sure that it was going to be Chris Jericho, but as soon as you saw him stick out his arm and clothesline the marathon runner guy, I don't know if I'm the only one who went ecstatic, but really it was the first time I'd seen Chris Jericho, because he stopped wrestling about 6 months before I started watching. So anyways, that was a great return, and hopefully any of the returns mentioned in this video of Jeff Hardy or the debuts of Ron Killings and Chris Harris will be able to hold a candle to Chris Jericho's awesome return. And if Jeff Hardy does come back, God forbid he won't just be stuck in the same stale position he was in for way too long. Anyways, thank you for watching. Slingblade98 out.